Sir, thank you so much for being with us on the program today.
Thank you for
Now,
asking.
we have seen more intense attacks being taken place within the last couple of hours or so. Given the intensity and the location of the attack being the city center of Kiev, would you describe this as a new phase in the war in Ukraine?
No, I don't actually. I think that this was just a sharp retaliation by Putin to get back at the fact that the bridge was blown up a couple of days ago. So I think that I don't think that he's actually doing anything new. He's just coming back to something that there's been a pause in Kiev for a while, but obviously he threw a lot of rockets yesterday, and a lot were shot down. But I don't think it's anything different really from what it's done before.
Well, it's indeed garnered a lot of response from the allies of Ukraine, particularly its European allies, saying now that they are going to increase military aid to the country. What kind of military aid would help the Ukrainian military continue to make advances in its counteroffensive?
That's a really good question. It's quite complex. I mean, there's one big thing, which is that they obviously need air defense, because if Russia is going to continue to throw missiles at civilian places in schools and kindergartens and things, then they want to try and reduce the destruction on that as much as possible. But they also need tanks, especially modern tanks, because at the moment they're using the same ones effectively as the Russians are using. So there's parity. And then, of course, we have winter coming. And winter means winter clothing. It means generators for electricity and any other things that are beginning to run out, like some areas of ammunition, air defense, small air defense weapons, anti-tank weapons. The international community has got to keep those things coming. Otherwise, there could be shortages, which could be quite crucial.
And Putin just recently appointed a new military commander to oversee its military in Ukraine. Do you think this has had an effect on the way operations are undergone across the country and the tactics that Russia has been using since?
I think it's too soon to judge what he will do. Although you could say that being an Air Force officer, that what happened last night was probably very much in line with what he does. I mean, when he was in charge in Syria, then he tried to destroy everything, and he is a man of destruction. Whether that's civilians or military, I don't think he actually cares. So he's very much in line with Putin's sort of genocidal activity of just to try and kill as many Ukrainians and to bring them to heel. This seems to be what Putin wants, and I think his new commander will want to do exactly the same.
Right, and apart from Kyiv, we've also seen attacks in other parts of the country, including Lviv, Odessa, Zaporizhia in the south. Is this going to be a setback for the successful counteroffensive that we've seen the Ukrainian army conduct in the past couple of days?
No, that's a good question. No, it's not, because you have to separate out that what the soldiers are doing on the front line is totally different from what the Russians are doing by attacking cities. I mean, what the attacks on the cities are only making the Ukrainians more determined that they're going to push forward on the front line and win. In fact, it's creating more volunteers for the front line, not fewer. So I don't think it's going to change things apart from making the Ukrainians just more determined that they're going to win.
All right, Glen Grant, defense and reform expert, thank you so much for joining us here on the NewsHour. It was a pleasure speaking.
Thank you very much.